Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Rooster Stone Show. Doo-doo. All right, man. We got Brian back. You know, we're celebrating today because the Eagles just won their second Super Bowl on Sunday.
Absolutely. Go Birds.
Yeah, buddy. That's super duper exciting. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm a Steeler fan. But, dude, I loved watching the Eagles win this Super Bowl. And it was super fun to watch. And the older I get, that rivalry feeling is just gone. I don't have any of it. It was exciting to see.
No, I don't. I'm the same.
Yeah.
I own a Steelers jersey.
Yeah.
I'll wear it if the Eagles aren't playing the Steelers.
Yeah.
I don't care. But
it's cool. Yeah.
I was raised green. So
Yeah. And as you should. So this is great. So today, because of that, we're going to do a What Are You Listening To? But we're going to kind of tweak it a little bit today. So because the Super Bowl was played in New Orleans, Brian chose all songs from New Orleans artists. I chose all Philadelphia artists. So we're going to kind of celebrate that win down there in the Big Easy. And so let's just jump right into it, man. Like, what do you got? What's your first song here?
All right. So my first song, Right Place, Wrong Time by Dr. John, off the In the Right Place album released in 1973. I think everybody knows this song, even if you don't know it's Dr. John or who it is. Mm-hmm. It's been in movies. It's been in television shows. It's been covered by other artists. Everybody knows this song.
Yeah, it's
even if you don't know it. Mm-hmm. For me, this one, it's the layers in the music, the way it builds, the way the instruments fall into place as it builds, the foundation that's provided by the bass line, the way it starts with the chorus, kind of breaks down and builds back up over and over again. It grooves.
It is. It's such a groovy tune. You know, I love this song. And I remember the first time I ever really heard it, you know, I'd probably heard it before that, but really actually heard it, was Dazed and Confused soundtrack. It's on that. And it was by far my favorite tune on that whole collection. And it's a pretty good collection of music. But this song, his voice, you know, just the way that it kind of thumps along is such a great choice. Excellent choice. So my first song, which is hilarious because there's a lot of 1973 in this group. So my first song is She's Gone by Hall & Oates from their seminal 1973 album, Abandoned Luncheonette. Now, even though this song was released in 73, it didn't really make waves at first. It kind of did, was a little middling on the charts. But Hall & Oates apparently in 76 switched record companies, and the record companies decided to re-release it. And so when they did re-release it, it was an absolute hit. So it's 73, but it's kind of 76. So, this tune, the verse is just so smooth and groovy, and it just builds into this tremendous wall of harmony in the chorus. I mean, dude, Daryl Hall and John Oates are one of the greatest duos of all time, both from a singing and a songwriting point of view. Apparently, Daryl called this the best song he and John ever wrote together, which I found to be kind of a bold statement, but hard to argue against.
Absolutely. The song's amazing. Hall & Oates is one of those bands that I always listened to casually but never really got into them. And one of my favorite artists, New Orleans Trombone Shorty, was playing at the whatever it was called back then in Camden. Mm. And we're like, Trombone Shorty's opening? Let's go see him. Hall & Oates will be fine. I'm completely blown away by how good Hall & Oates were.
Dude, they are so good live.
Phenomenal, and they've started listening to them more and more ever since.
Well, and then Daryl's House.
Absolutely.
I kind of felt the same way. I was sort of a casual Hall & Oates listener. I mean, I always liked their music. But one of my old regulars back in my bartending days bought me a ticket and drove me to a Hall & Oates concert at Hershey in 2004. Maybe 2003. Dude, it was one of the best concerts I've ever seen. They are so good. And they were so good then. That's 20 years after their or 30 years after their really big fame.
And when I saw them, it was 2015, right after we moved to Philly for a while. Mm-hmm. It was incredible. But this song, I mean, it's smooth, it's groovy. Bernard Purdy's drums are perfect.
Dude, I know.
And who doesn't love a good tenor sax solo?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, the 70s gave us a lot of good sax.
Yeah.
And we should get that back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what do you got for number 2?
All right, what do we have for number 2? This band, this is That's It by Preservation Hall Jazz Band, released in 2013. The band was founded in the early 60s by tuba player Alan Jaffe, but this is the first album they released that was all original music.
Wow.
Other than that, it was always, jazz standards,
Sure.
covers, whatever. His son, Ben, is actually now the current tuba player for the band.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a rotating host of musicians.
Sure.
But it's an amazing band, and this song, just the growling horns, the rhythmic drums, that underlying tuba line that holds up the bass end of it. The trumpet solo is phenomenal.
Dude, that trumpet solo is sick, for real.
That's the part that really gets me, that and the tuba underneath it.
Yeah. Dude, I felt the same way. Like the first time I was listening to that, I'm like, this trumpet, it rolled in, and I'm like, my man can play. And you can hear so many like cool rhythmic things going on in this song.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that. As I was listening to it too, I thought, this is a Brian song. It jumped out at me.
I can listen to it over and over again.
Yeah. That's a good one. It's a good choice. I love New Orleans, man. If you've never been there, dude, you got to roll. So my second song is very near and dear to my heart. The artist in general. I chose Thursday by Jim Croce from his huge 1973 album, I Got a Name. Jim Croce was like literally the central figure in the soundtrack to my childhood. Every song he wrote is like etched into my memory for all time. This song was always one of my favorites. The melody, the intricate weave of guitar phrasings brought by Jim and Mari Muleisen. I love that last name. The bouncy bass guitar, the clip-clop drums, but man, it's that voice, that beautiful baritone voice, and the lyrics. Dude, this is a savage diss track, bro. Like, if you listen to the words closely, it's awesome. Jim Croce died in a terrible plane crash before his career had really had a chance to take off. But his voice lives on forever in these songs, man. R.I.P., buddy. It's a great song. I love this song.
Ditto, everything you just said. I mean, for me, his voice, the tone of it, and then you combine that with the bass line and that kind of clip-clop drum rhythm. It's just a great song.
Yeah, it's such a good one. I love it. All right, man, we're wrapping it up already. What do you got for number 3?
All right, number 3, Cineramascope by Galactic with guest musicians Trombone Shorty and Corey Henry, 2 other New Orleans artists, off the Yakime album in 2010. This is one of my favorite bands. Never heard of them. One of my friends said, hey, we have an extra ticket to a show down in Towson, Maryland. Okay, what kind of music is it? Just come. I was like,
wait, is this Galactic?
Galactic, yeah. I was like, all right, sure. I trust you. You listen to good music.
What year was this?
I don't even remember.
Because I've seen Galactic on my own several times too.
Like maybe the late 90s, early 2000s, right around. They might have had one album out at that point.
Have we ever seen them together?
I think at the Chameleon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there.
Because I've seen them several occasions. They're amazing.
Yeah. But once I saw them, I was completely blown away. I've seen them more times than I can count now. And Stanton Moore has become one of my favorite drummers. These guys were my gateway into New Orleans music. And the cool thing about New Orleans music is they all collaborate together all the time. They show up on each other's albums. They tour together. It's impossible to just know one New Orleans band.
Yeah.
Because they're always collaborating.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this song, I love everything about this song. The drum pattern, the bari sax, the trombone. I love the way the bari sax kind of solos at the end and kind of takes the song out.
Dude, it's so like classic Galactic. Like if if you've listened, but dude, what a grouping together, man. Trombone Shorty's on this track with them. Dude, that bass effect though, I mean, I'm getting like the perfect like James Bond vibe from that bass.
Right.
It sounded like that, ding, ding, ding. It's almost like this would have been a great Bond track, man. Like they could have used it for, Live and Let Die, which took place in New Orleans. But dude, I love that you had 2 instrumentals on this collection. That's so you. That's perfect.
It is.
It's awesome. So for my last song, I chose the Philly band the Dead Milkmen, and now for something completely different, as is my want. Punk Rock Girl. I chose this song just because it's, catchy and people know it. But I wanted to choose a couple other songs. But this is from their big album, for them, Beelzebubba, which is a hilarious name, 1988. This song, I don't know about you, but it takes me back to like adolescence when I was first really kind of getting into punk rock music. From that first lick, the song just hooks into you. Down, 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 down. It's just got that like going. But it's Joe Gennaro's voice that keeps you listening. That narrative storyline of this tune is just so hilarious. These two punk rock kids falling in love, and everyone else, particularly her dad, just being revolted by the whole situation. All they want to do is be themselves and eat pizza and go shopping. But there's just something about this song and its catchy melody and its sing-along lyrics that just keep you coming back for more.
Yeah, I can't help but smile when I listen to the Dead Milkmen. They're just fun. I love this band. I love this song. This album is one of their best albums. Mm-hmm. And, this song has an accordion in it. It's a punk song with an accordion.
Yeah, and that is so them to do that.
Right.
Because they're just like, whatever, we don't care.
Yeah, they do what they want because they want to do it.
Yeah, it's such a great tune. So, what an eclectic group of 6 songs we had here today.
Just a bit.
And a cool testament to how unique each American city has its own styles of music that it's contributed to. Obviously Philadelphia and New Orleans are 2 large cities, and they have contributed a ton to music. But it's just neat to me that in a country like America, we can have so many different styles, sort of just all, it's the melting pot.
Yeah, it's great when they get mashed together, too.
Mm-hmm. And they do.
Yeah.
And hopefully that'll happen again. But here are the tunes. Check them out. I'll make a Spotify playlist for you so you can, listen to all the tunes if you want to listen to them, after or whatever. And or if you've already listened to them, awesome. But hopefully that helps you guys. And thanks for sticking around if you're here till the end. Hey, we're going to wish you peace and one love. Come on over to roosterstone.com, where you can book the band for any event you can imagine. Acoustic, full band, whatever your event may require. You can also email us to take online music lessons at an affordable monthly price. Don't forget to download our original music and follow, and subscribe to Rooster Stone across all social media platforms. Keep rocking out at roosterstone.com.